absolutely no sourcing of Opihi from the Northwest Hawaiian Islands to the main Hawaiian Islands on a fisheries management scale. So just because there weren't barriers in that last graph doesn't mean that they don't exist. Mitochondrial DNA works on a very large time scale. We're talking hundreds of years, thousands of years. There's a lot of years of barrier there. What about on a yearly time scale or tens of years? So that's why we went to microsatellite DNA in the next study I'm going to present. First, what's a microsatellite? It's just a section of DNA that's repeated over and over again. There's ACs, Ts, and Gs that make up DNA. In this case, there's a GA repeat. So it goes GA, 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 GA. And the DNA polymerase in any organism kind of has a hard time dealing with this, and it makes mistakes highly often. So you come up with a highly variable molecule of DNA where you have a lot of diversity within a population. Because it evolves fast, we have finer temporal scale measurements of population structure. So we sampled across the main Hawaiian Islands, and we focused on Molokai because it's kind of right in the center, and the Kalapapa National Park funded some of this research. So you notice we have the Kalapapa Park site also. And we wanted to know, would we find subdivision within an island? So that hence our 3 sampling sites on Molokai, or between islands adjacent, so you have Oahu and Maui, or on an even farther scale from Kauai to the Big Island. So first for Molokai, if you just look at the 2 tips of the island, and this is that same sort of frequency distribution graph, you can see that it's fairly identical from Leo Point to Halava Valley, and there's absolutely no population structure, and Opihi are freely interbreeding across the north shore of the island of Molokai. When we kind of expand out and look at some of the other islands that we looked at, in contrast, every single island that we've looked at so far with microsatellite DNA is significantly differentiated from every other island, which means that there's no gene flow, there's no larvae crossing the gaps between islands, and marine protected area on Molokai isn't going to help Maui or Oahu, and vice versa. So just to review, our current conclusions based on this work are Opihi are connected within islands. Opihi are not strongly connected among islands. Opihi and the National Monument are not connected to the main Hawaiian Islands. And basically, what I come away with, or the take-home message, is every main Hawaiian Island requires its own set of MPAs to reverse the decline of Opihi. That each island is its own management unit. And that's well and good, but I've talked to some lawmakers and they still didn't know what to make of all that. So to try to distill it even more, here are some specific laws that could be passed. And I don't know if you guys follow the news at all, but you'll notice this year the Opihi bill radically changed after I talked to the lawmakers. And part of that bill included these points. One was protect all subtidal Opihi. This is a cultural practice that's already being employed in certain communities, and it works as far as I can tell. And the reason why it works is because one of the species of Opihi, the koele, lives subtidally and intertidally. The adults don't move between the intertidal and subtidal environment, so just by protecting everything that's subtidal, you make it so that that's a protected area, and then the larvae that land in the intertidal are harvested. Second, protect all Opihi in current marine managed areas. The reason why I think we should do this is, one, it's very hard to designate new protected areas. However, there's a number of areas around the state which are already fisheries management areas, marine managed areas that don't include Opihi. They only include certain species, and what we can do is just tack on that in every one of these areas, Opihi should be protected. Kind of one of the problems with that technique is that a lot of harbors have been designated as marine managed areas, probably because fishermen don't fish in the harbors very much. And Opihi live on the outside of the harbors. So additionally, if you included all man-made shores, breakwaters, jetties to be free from Opihi harvesting, it works twofold. One, Opihi love those habitats, and two, it's pretty much nobody's native or cultural harvesting ground because they weren't there 50 years ago. So these are 3 things you can do right now that would help Opihi today. Next, we're going to continue with the microsatellite survey and complete that. And we currently have grant proposals in to actually track the Opihi larvae. I know I said that it's really hard, and it is, but we figured out a couple ways that we could do it and get some really interesting information out of it. And we're also going to continue to work with the Native Hawaiian community and lawmakers to try to bring some legislation to the House next year, and hopefully it'll get passed, and we'll be able to start healing the Opihi populations. And that's it. Thank you.